Yeah, the exhaust is just, you can't hear anything really. You can
Well, it's
hear...
great for long journeys.
Well,
that was the whole point of the car, I thought.
There were some conflicting criteria. Hi everyone, welcome to Nightfall.Drives. Doug here, and today Kath has taken me out in our new Volvo C30.
Yay! To be a very wet and muddy drive, as all it seems to have done is rain for the last few months.
Stopped for just long enough that we can record something. So I'm not quite sure what this video is going to be. It's sort of an owner story, which Kath, being a co-owner, I thought she could pick up the story today. But also it's an update on our fleet.
Yes, our fleet.
Would you call it a fleet now?
What number equals a fleet?
I'm going to argue 4.
Because that's how many we've got.
So we've got the Lotus and the Mazda and the e-Golf.
Which Doug has surprisingly not wanted to make a video of. We love that car.
Just haven't got round to it yet. So. we'll eventually get to it.
Yeah.
And now this, which fills a gap, because we were using, for longer trips in the winter, we were using Mazda or Evora sometimes, and on those boring, wet British motorway journeys, just felt a bit of a waste of their wear and tear, really, rather than on a fun drive. So welcome to the new winter workhorse, which the Golf can't really be, can it? The range of 120 miles. So
it's a bit limited.
Yeah, so that's where this came in.
Well, actually, how did it started when we're in the pub?
Yeah, I think a lot of car buying decisions made in the pub do turn out to be, well, this has turned out to be great. But yeah, we were sat outside the pub. We were looking at the time for an Audi TT or something to be the winter workhorse.
They are lying to us.
Oh.
Doug, they're lying to us. Gosh darn them.
Who's lying to us?
They are.
I think a lot of people are lying to us these days.
Oh, I had to show that one to Dad. Sorry, back to the pub story.
Yeah, but winter workhorse hunt had come to a bit of a standstill, but then sat outside the pub, a nice Volvo V70 turned up, and I just mentioned to Kath I quite like those. And then
I said, oh, I really like the Volvo from the Twilight films.
And that turned out to be one of these. So had a look at the Auto Trader, as you do, and I may have said the famous words along the lines of, now we've got married, the first thing we should do is get a classic. What do you do after getting married? You obviously buy a classic car.
Obviously. Obviously.
But it turns out you get a Volvo.
Well, that is like a cliche, isn't it? You get married, you buy a Volvo.
Yeah. We're walking or driving cliche.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't know what this is going to be, other than as I said, an update on the fleet, but a bit of a tour around Kath's home county and some interesting parts of Suffolk, and a bit of a chat about the C30 and what it can offer.
So far, we love it.
Yeah.
It's a very comfortable little car, isn't it, Doug?
It's weird. I'd say the seats are lovely.
Yeah.
There's not much support in terms of, like, if you go around, twisty roads, you might slide around a little bit. But for a long journey, that's what we wanted. Lovely, comfortable seats. Not leather. Don't want to get into a cold leather seat, although they are heated.
Oh yeah, can you turn mine on, please?
Yeah. Maximum or average? There's
Average,
two
I
settings.
think.
Average, yeah.
Why maximum to begin with?
Yeah. Yeah, go in.
Yeah.
The nice cloth seats in this two-tone colour, which I've tried to carpet vanish and I've created some watermarks. So I've got to do it again.
Dougie.
But then it was a comfortable car inside, but I think the suspension is a bit firm. I think you can feel all the bumps.
To be fair, we are on a very bumpy road.
Yeah. It might just be because it's 106,000 miles. The shocks are all a bit worn out by now.
Yeah.
They do look original. We can keep it on the road. If something breaks, we'll fix it.
It was in quite. I mean, it looked very good quality when we got it, didn't it? We did you got the alloys redone because they were scratched up like crazy.
Yeah.
But that was it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose a little shout out to Mint Alloys in Bedfordshire. They managed to turn this into these. I'll try to do some graphics now.
Oh, I see. I was like, what are you pointing at? That's my old high school.
Oh, here we go.
Well, that's not the high school. The high school's there. This is the community centre.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's my old high school.
Pretty big compared to your primary school, which was...
Oh, yeah. There's 4 people in my year. There's dinky.
Yeah.
I think there's about 40 people in the whole entire school.
Yeah, it's just a different world down here, isn't it?
It really is.
So we just did the alloy refurbishment. I need to do a timing belt at some point. I think that's due. Might have a go myself at that. Watch some YouTube videos and chat to a few friends for advice on that. And one thing I am going to do is a resonator delete.
Is what?
A resonator delete on the exhaust. So there's a part of the exhaust called the resonator about here, which is just to cancel out certain frequencies and make the tone a bit more normal, I guess you could say, for a factory car. And then it's got a back box and some cats.
This is this little place here called Debenham. It's a crazy little place. They just keep building and building and building. And of course, there's no space for all the cars and the people.
Yeah, it seems to be happening in a lot of the countryside. Yeah, the exhaust is just, you can't hear anything really. You can
It's great for long journeys.
Well,
that was the whole point of the car, I thought.
There were some conflicting criteria with the car. One of which was, I think, it has to sound interesting, which means something other than 4 cylinders. So this is a 5, which is other than turbos. I haven't seen. This is the only non-turbo 5 I've seen. So there must be some others out there. But yeah, 5s. I have fond memories of how they sound.
This was all flooded.
From my parents' Audis back in the day. Oh, this was the flood region, was it?
Yeah, back there.
Yeah, that made the news, didn't it? The tractor rescuing the school kids. Yeah, subsided now at least. Yeah, the noise being interesting is a little bit at odds with being a nice quiet motorway cruiser. I'm going to experiment, and I can put it back if I have to. So that might be a future video, record the process of the resonator delete and how I'll go about that. You may recall the legendary James with the TR7. He might be helping me out with a few workshop facilities in the family, so I might be able to make a better video than lying and scrabbling around in my driveway. Not a C30.
I know.
there's a fun game with the C30 that... Fun game with the C30.
I think because you're winning. Is it fun?
C30 C30s. Thought the first one of us to see 30 C30s.
Still V40.
It's a V40. This keeps happening. I'm currently 10.5, 4.5 up. So.
Yeah, we both saw one at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's it would appear that C30s are actually really quite rare. We very rarely see them. Well,
Yeah.
since 14, since we've had this. How long have we had this one now?
3 months.
3 months.
2.5, 3 months. 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's taken us that long to see between us 15 other ones,
Yeah.
including one on our street. So they're quite a rare thing, and I think the other, I suppose, the competition with this, I was shocked how cheap they were to start with, compared to, we were looking at TTs, maybe they're a bit inflated, but compared to this. But this is obviously based on a Mark II Focus, and similar in some ways to JJ's ST that I had on the channel, the ST3, sorry, and it's just very different. It hides the fact it's a Ford-based thing very well.
See here, Dougie?
The interior is I think, a little bit of a
That's
step
where they make
up.
apple cider.
Apple cider.
Apple cider.
Do they do tours?
I don't know. I did work experience there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go to that length to have a look around, but I don't know if this format of car technical chat and Suffolk sightseeing it's a bit of a niche. But yeah, it feels like a Volvo in here. It's nice interior. It's a really handsome car, isn't it, as well, I think.
It is pretty good looking, yeah. And it's a well, it's not a special edition, is it? This one, it's a
No, it's.
Is it the, what do you call it?
I'm calling it the launch edition.
Yeah.
It was never officially a launch edition, but this colour scheme with the pearlescent white and the metallic brown
chocolate
trim around the wheels and the bumpers, and that colour combination seems to be, when you Google the initial reviews, it was what Auto Express or those types of places had one in these colours.
This one's 5-cylinder.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really sure what that means, but Doug says it's good.
I think it's interesting, and you've enjoyed how it performs.
Well, yeah, but I don't know what the 5-cylinder difference makes.
Well,
what does that do?
Well, most cars are like this will be a 4-cylinder at this age. 5 cylinders doesn't take up a huge amount more room. It's a bit longer, but it's obviously a lot shorter than a straight 6 would be. So this is just the number of pistons in a line. So they add on an extra cylinder, and it'll still fit in the same sort of engine bay. But you get, well, that's 5 sets of explosions rather than 4. So it's just more power and more torque for something that.
Loads of wetness on a corner. There we go. Oh, yeah.
It's a 2.4, so usually 1.8 to 2 litres is your typical 4, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, I stopped listening.
But I think hopefully somebody's listening.
I'm not just that interested in car stuff, I suppose.
You've done the job there. You've set me up to do some technical chat, which I'm sure somebody's interested in.
Hopefully, yeah.
But the thing for me is it doesn't sound like a 4. It's offbeat sort of noise that you get when you rev it out. You can hear the intake, and it just, because of the firing order of the 5 cylinders, it's a bit different and sounds a bit sporty to me. So that's why I want to release a bit more of the noise, because I think it's a nice noise, but not a noise that will just drone away on the motorway, because we'll still have the
singing's a
fat
nice
box.
noise, isn't it, Doug?
What drone away noises?
I don't know, my singing's a nice noise. Oh,
well,
sorry. Pothole.
That's a perfect. Your singing's a nice noise, and then what was that?
That was pothole noise.
Pothole noise, that wasn't. Testing the mic noise earlier, we could use that as the singing. So,
La 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 la.
so we've meandered around a lot of different parts of the C30 so far. I think what else is there to say? Well, it's done a good job this week with the Christmas trip. We've managed to fit all the presents in on the way here, and the back seats are full adult-sized back seats. Had adults in the back, and the boot is a bit restrictive, the width of it. It's not a full hatchback sort of thing. It's just the glass door. So, down south now.
Down south. Speak proper.
Yeah.
Speak proper. Speak proper, boy.
I don't want to alienate the Suffolk demographic. I suppose you're allowed to do.
I'm Suffolk.
Yeah, you're allowed to do the accent.
This is where one Christmas I was meeting Adam, and it was all rainy, and I think it might have been that pothole back there because they blatantly not fixed it. I hit a pothole, or that one there, and got a flat tyre on Christmas Eve, and I had to work on Boxing Day in Leicester. So I had to abandon my car at Mum and Dad's house and get them to fix it up at Debenham garage, and then I stole their car. I've got to take your car back to work.
There was a spate of tyre problems around that time, wasn't there?
It was an entirely bad time.
You really want me to leave these in?
I'm sorry, that was too good to miss.
You thought you'd had enough cracker jokes this period.
I think maybe that's why. There's been all these lovely cracker jokes. Oh, the potholes!
It's a little test of the C30.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry, little Volvo. I'm bringing you down the most scenic of places. Oh my god, people could live in those potholes. Not potholes, they're swimming pools.
Well, it's a full road test today.
Yeah.
There are a few reasons why I think the Volvo ended up being a great choice. It's Swedish, so you can cope with winter weather, you'd hope. Safety, the airbags everywhere.
Yeah.
They've got a reputation to uphold with safety.
Yeah.
Despite being, 17 years old now, this car, 17, 18 years old. Yeah. It was just the start of that next generation of cars where it's really safe and refined. But also, buying an older car now needn't be like a step backwards, because we've got this device here from Amazon. I'm sure other retailers are out there, but this was a Apple CarPlay, Android Auto screen, Bluetooth to your phone, and it's powered by the 12-volt socket, and that links to the radio on an FM channel of your choice, and signal's pretty good. So this was, I think, £75, and it's just brought the car up to date immediately. So I think there's something, we're spoiled that two of our other cars have got CarPlay. Yeah, you clear. Two of our other cars got CarPlay, and it's something you almost take for granted now, isn't it? But to get it into an old car this easily, I'm not bothered about how it looks really as well, given it's a cheap runaround. So it's just another way to bring an older car back from being out of date.
The age of the car and stuff, and long journeys, I quite often like a little cup of tea. But the cup holder space wasn't very friendly to cups as they kept falling over. So Doug did a little bit of research and adapted it, so now we've got perfect cup holders. Yay!
Yeah, just again, a few quid online, measured it up and just slotted it in, stuck it in, and so it doesn't take much effort to. It's quite fun, isn't it? Setting up a car for your own. What you need, cables, and there's two 12-volt sockets here as well. There's this one and one just back here for the phone charger.
Is there one down there somewhere as well? No, like underneath, like
Underneath.
behind the column.
There might be. I haven't found one there, but if there is, I might move that because that's a little bit. It's not really in the way of the gears, is it? But it'd be nice not to have that.
I may have made that up though. It may be a different car.
I think you're thinking of the Lotus. There's one round the back
could
there.
be.
So another positive in an older car, real handbrake.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, look at all these fields. What should we do later?
They're a bit wet for that.
Well, it might get stuck.
Mind you, it was funny, the first few times I took this out, my car's got an automatic handbrake that kind of goes on and off. Oh, it's like I'm having to remember how to drive, and sequence of like putting handbrakes on and putting them off. Well, actually, if I'm putting them on, it's putting them off I forget. I'm like, oh, handbrake.
Yeah, this probably would have enough power to get you going.
It does.
With the handbrake.
It does. Trust me. They tried that.
Okay, yeah. New revelations as we're going around on this drive. But yeah, in terms of the power and stuff, I think it's 170 horsepower. Similar amount of torque. But it does rev out quite nicely and moves this along. It's a big lump for this size of car, isn't it? Obviously not as much power as the Mazda has now, and it's on 207 after the BBR upgrade. But yeah, this isn't really about all-out power, but it seems to be. It gets going nicely, doesn't it?
It's got a bit of oomph behind it when you put your foot down.
Yeah, and that classic 5-cylinder, which I think I'd heard a rumour that it was Volvo bought the technology from Audi or something, but I think that's nonsense. I think that Volvo developed it on their own with a bit of help from Porsche on some of the intake stuff. But yeah, it's proper Volvo 5 designed in the 90s, and they're used for quite a few applications. So with the 5 being discontinued, sadly recently, I think that maybe this is going to be a rare motor. Might end up being that future classic we on the hunt for without realising. The hunt for a classic, I'm afraid, is still going. Probably
is
go
it?
for some. Yep.
Sense the tone.
Probably go for some time, and it depends on space and so on. Might need to potentially swap something out for it, but we'll see how it goes. But around the time this has come out, you might have seen, or about to see, JayEmm is releasing a video on it. Looking forward to seeing what he says. This could be. I was going to say, if he gets to a certain number of views, we could call this like the viral Volvo. If it gets to 100,000 views on it, that by my standards, that's viral. Something else I wanted to mention was that JayEmm actually diagnosed a couple of faults during his time with the car. A wheel balancing resonance at about 50 miles an hour, and a slight hesitation or misfire at around 2k RPM, probably due to the mass airflow sensor. He's very deft of foot, that fellow. Anyway, I'll get these checked out at the next opportunity, as they did show up in the drive after I looked out for them. So yeah, if you're interested in a cheap run around, it's a bit different.
Comfortable.
Give the C30 a look. And it's got a lot going for it. And I'll finish by mentioning I took it to Caffeine and Machine just to get a drink the other day and have a look around. The new one luckily has opened near us, and didn't expect to get any attention whatsoever, but ended up having a very long chat with one of the marshals who was a very big C30 fan, and hadn't seen this trim and the 5-cylinder version and stuff. So yeah, there can be some little hidden gems out there, so keep your eye out. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll head back, load it up with all the Christmas presents, and keep testing it out. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe. More owner stories coming along, and some other stuff. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Bye.